How's it going? This is Fox back again for sound design tutorials. Something special for you today. This is the sort of pad I've been dreaming of making since I started making pads. Pads are my thing. I love them. I've got lots of synths that can do a lot of crazy things modulation wise. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this patch with Native Instruments Razor. This synth is really simple compared to a lot of other synths that I've got in regards to the modulation destinations and stuff. That being said, this is what we can make with it. Well, there you go. That's it. I'm never going to make another pad ever again. What a bit of kit. Right. I'm going to initialize this and show you how I made it. If I could remember how to do it. Aerosmith init. Okay, I say it was a real simple patch. It's just the quality of the effects, a little bit of modulation with an LFO. Real straightforward. Oscillator 1, it's on as standard. This little blue button means it's on. I set the ratio to 2, which means it's going to be, when we set oscillator 2 up, it's going to be an octave higher. Keep it all the way around to the right so it's a saw. Keep the amp on full. That's what you get. That's because this glides on. Pull the glide down to 0. I pitch this down 1 octave to start with. You've got no way of pitching the oscillators down lower than their original starting position of 1. So if you want them any lower, you need to pitch the general patch down and then pitch the oscillators accordingly. So yeah, pitch that down an octave, turn the glide to 0. Set the mono mode to poly, set the voice limit to maximum. We want as many voices as we can for a pad. I'm going to set the colour slightly around to the right. This is almost like a built-in filter with it. It's going to make it sound a little bit higher. Cut some of the lows off. Oscillator 2, turn it on. Pulse to saw also. Keep it round to the right so it's a saw. Keep the ratio on 1 and the colour dead centre for this one. And we're clipping. Already. Nothing to it. So a bit of modulation in a bit. These are different effects. These centro beating effects or dissonance effects it's called. This is an additive synthesizer, I believe, simulating a subtractive synthesizer. How do I get these graphs up? I can't remember. Here we go. What you're seeing here are the harmonics or the partials, like the individual sound, little sine waves that make up this sound. And these effects aren't actually effects, it's just recreating what effects do. So the reverb, it isn't actually like a convolution reverb, it's not playing it into a simulated room. It's just simulating the tail effects of a reverb by decreasing the volume over time. It's very, very clever the way this thing works. I mean, I'm not pretending to understand it exactly, but it gives you a sound that no other synth does that I've got. So yeah, in regards to this dissonant effect, the one I chose is there is one called unison. Does exactly what you would imagine. You got a choice between a 2 oscillator unison or a 2 or a 3 oscillator unison. I chose a 3 oscillator. Push the detune all the way around to about 1 o'clock. Still a bit nothingy at the minute. These other effects are going to make it change drastically. With the unison on, we'll leave the reverb off for a minute. Turn the safe bass on. Keep it around to full. It's just like having a sub oscillator. Create some additional beef to the low end of the sound. So filter, yeah, turn it on. I'll change this low pass filter to a low pass ramps. It's just one with a more steeper curved and a more pronounced resonance. Cut off. Starting point about 11 o'clock. Boost all the way around to about 9 o'clock. Width. How do I get that back up again? It's almost like a band pass. I want to give it some attack. You can just see it flicking into play. We're also going to apply an envelope to open this filter up. We're going to use envelope 2. And these envelopes are down the bottom here, all your controls. We want a nice slow attack. No decay. Sustain level on false. And the release to where it comes as standard. And then it's like massive. It's not drag and drop, but if you've used Massive or Serum, these little arcs will be familiar to you. This tells you how much you want the modulation to affect which parameter you've chosen. So you want to dial this positive to about in between 2 and 3 o'clock on a clock dial. It's going to open this filter up now. Maybe we give it a little bit less attack so it's a tiny bit quicker. Okay, we are also going to apply an LFO to this cutoff as well, just to give it a bit of movement along with the envelope. For that, we're going to use LFO 1, which is down in this box at the bottom here. We want to change it to a triangle wave. These are always best, I find, when you're doing modulation on a filter. It's a definite up or down. I mean, you would think a sine wave would be more smooth, but it's not. A triangle gets to a definite point and then comes down straight away, so it is continuous. A sine wave has faster and slower parts because of the curves in it. So yeah, I'm waffling on a bit there, but the speed I had of the LFO I had set to about 0.2. Quite slow, 0.3, 0.4, something like that. And then we're in this first modulation box, we're going to choose LFO 1. And we're going to tell it to go negative to about 11 o'clock. So this is going to be working with the filter. As the filter opens up, it's still going to be wobbling a bit with this LFO. You can see what the movement's doing in the arc around the cutoff here. Again, still quite static, not too much going on. Filter 2, unison noise. You hear what this difference this makes. It adds some noise and unison all at the same time. The speed we want round to about 2 o'clock, and the amount back to about 10. We'll put some attack on this as well, so it takes a little time for it to come in. And a little bit of damping, both the same amount, around 10, 11 o'clock on a clock dial. Right, again, still doesn't sound anything like the monster pad we had at the start, and that is all because of the quality of this reverb that we are about to introduce. I can't stress highly enough how good this reverb is, even though it is not a reverb. I'm going to turn it on. All I did was just give it a bit of smear. So yeah, I'll put my headphones on for this. This is now done. without the reverb. Sounds like nothing. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. What do I use? I used LFO2 on the Unison detune as well, just to give a bit of modulation on the detune amount. LFO2. Change this to a triangle wave as well. As I say, I always try and use a triangle if I can. It's the smoothest, most fluid LFO to use. And the rate for this, really low again, 0.3. Change it to hertz. Set it to LFO1 actually. And the amount positive to about 2 o'clock. You can see these LFOs are free running, so they're constantly moving. There you have it. Done. Never need a pad ever again. I'll quickly open up a track where I've been using this pad just to show you quickly. I've got it side chained. I've got it split into 3 layers. High, mid and lows, all EQs separately, all with slightly different amounts of reverb and delay and compression and stuff, just to fill the track out really. Take a couple of seconds to load, it's got a lot in it. There we go. Okay, I'll show you this on the breakdown. This is where I made the pad actually. It was that good I thought I'd do a tutorial on it. So yeah, I've got it split in 3. The high one, which has got some mid-side EQ and boosting the highs. The mid one, cutting the highs and the lows out. And a bass pad, just taking care of the lows with a bit of overdrive on the lows. Yeah, this is what all 3 of them sound together at the drop. The break, sorry. I'll show you a bit later on when the side chained. Well, there you go. Anyway, that is the track that I made during a full track workout. I did this during a live stream. If you want to catch in with my live streams, you have to like my Facebook or Google Plus page. It is Sound Design Tutorials. Yeah, thanks for watching as always. Cheers.